Hello producers, it's Özgün here. In this tutorial, I'm gonna show you how to achieve analog sounding 303 acid leads. When you hear modern acid tracks, still the 303 lead like it sounds came from an analog scene. And today I'm gonna demonstrate you how to get analog sound acid leads. And most of the time, I'm gonna use free plugins to process the leads. If you're ready, let's get into the tutorial. Alright, I created some little pattern. It sounds like this. It's a basic techno rumble kind of drop. It's good to have some rumble bass line when you are making acid 303 leads because the leads are gonna be the main element in that drop. That's why you shouldn't use complex bass lines. Instead, you can just have some rumble and it's gonna do the job for you. By the way, I made the rumble from my plugin. If you didn't check it out, just check the last week's video. I give a free patcher pack which you can create this kind of rumbles by just in seconds. Okay, so I'm gonna use Serum creating my synth, but it can be achievable with Vital, even maybe 3 times oscillator. But like Serum is the easiest way for me to demonstrate it. That's why if you just know the logic, you can apply this to with all of the other plugins. And also I'm gonna just process them in only with stock plugins. So don't worry about if you don't have that fancy plugins, you can achieve the sound anyway. First, let's create the acid sound. I'm gonna go choose basic shapes. And most of the time you are going to use a saw wave or maybe a square wave, but the others are not good on acid. But you can make it, but most of the time you are gonna see this and this. Let's put it 1 octave down from here. And I'm gonna just quickly write a pattern so it's gonna be easy for us to work on the sound design. As I remember, my kick and bass is on F, so I'm gonna go F, and I'm gonna feel it like this. Creating acid patterns is actually easy. Just put a rhythm. In this case, I'm just going 16 notes and move some of them up and down and try to come with something catchy. Sounds nice. Maybe we can add some glides to make it more interesting. But to make the glides work, we gotta choose mono. I think I'm gonna use this one. Okay, now I'm gonna turn on this filter on. I'm gonna go probably 12 or 18. I'm gonna check. So the first thing we have to do is give it just a little bit less decay and maybe a bit off the release. I'm gonna create an second envelope. make this cutoff like this and connect this second envelope to the cutoff, but not give that much. When we make a curve to this envelope, it's gonna trigger the cutoff filter and it's gonna move the filter like this. So I'm gonna do something like this. I'm only gonna have some of the decay. Yeah. Yes, this is the sound that we are trying to achieve. Now it sounds too basic, yes, but after the processing, it's gonna sound so analog. Okay, the next thing, I'm gonna connect this velocity to cutoff and make the curve like this. It's gonna make this note sound a bit harder, and also it's gonna act when you connect the velocity, it's gonna act like if you have lesser velocity, it's gonna have less sound. So with this, you can make some velocity curves. You can get really analog feeling. And the next thing, I'm gonna connect this note to here, do it like this, and give a little bit of this. So making the curve a bit more. Let's listen how it sounds now. And let's give some of the resonance, because the sound with 303 leads, it's all about the resonance. After you having this kind of sound, it's enough. Let's assign it to some channel, maybe to here, and call it dry 303, because now it's the dry sound. It's the initial sound that we need to create to give the distortion. The reason I'm not giving the distortion from here, because it sounds too artificial. I'm trying to achieve some real sounding, like analog sounding feeling. That's why I'm gonna use 2 of guitar pedal plugins. They are basically using to get the distortion to drive to real guitars. They made for this reason. We can use this guitar pedal VSTs to create the distortion of the acid. For this, I'm gonna use this one. This is free. I'm gonna put the link in the description. With this, I'm just gonna give just a little bit of drive to the sound. This is enough for me. And the second distortion, I'm gonna use this one. This is again a free plugin. You can find the link. With this, we are gonna put the output in some safe level. And give some distortion. Okay, now to get the 303 sound better, we gotta tweak these parameters while we are hearing the distortion. Okay, I think we gotta do them the opposite way. Now we are getting somewhere. I think I'm mistaken, like when doing this curve. I think we gotta do it like this. Last time I think I practiced this one. I made the curve like this, but I'm gonna check it because it's obviously gotta be like the opposite curve. again, you gotta just tweak these parameters to get the sound like fitting best to your BPM and best to your key melody. Okay, let's add an EQ, and I suggest you to turn on the linear phase because it's gonna make the sound more accurate. And now I need low cut. I'm gonna cut like 150 Hertz. And also we can just cut like only the top end, just a little bit. And we can also boost 13K, 12K, that area to give it a little bit more crispness. I'm not gonna cut all the way the bass because in real analog synths, you get some distortion, some artifacts of the electricity and some static noise. That's why it should be a bit dirty, but still I'm gonna lower it just a little bit. Let's sidechain it. Okay, now I'm gonna add a dimension expander, makes something like a Haas effect and makes the sound a bit wider, like without broken the mono information. That's why it's good to have, if you have a mono lead, mono sound, it's good to use this plugin. It's free also. Maybe we can lower the resonance just a little bit. And yeah, a bit of less release, make it more tight. It depends on the BPM. If you are slower BPM, you can give a little bit more release. But if you are working on faster BPMs, you should make it a little bit more tighter than usual. Okay, the next thing I'm gonna do is adding a stereo or ping-pong, is up to you. Maybe I can use some preset. It sounds nice. The delay is gonna make the sound a bit more wide with like filling the gaps. And next thing I'm gonna add a reverb. For this, I think I have some preset like this. But to get a tighter and cleaner sound, we can use peak controller and we can go to this reverb, right click, link the controller and connect this one to here. And now it's gonna duck the wet. I'm putting the bass somewhere around like this. It's gonna determine the highest position and then I'm gonna just work with the volume. Also, like if you feed the distortion plugin just a little bit in here, it's gonna give you more distorted, more aggressive sound, which is again gonna sound like an analog synth. Okay, let's finish setuping this guy. Okay, to get more accurate, we can give just a little bit more decay, so it's gonna move a bit more fast. And maybe we can have one more EQ. This time we can just color it while we are listening to the track. And let's hear everything and see how it sounds. And decay and release automations gonna add so much to the sound, so you can always have some like macros, one for decay and maybe one for release. So you can just start tweaking them from here and you can automate these guys also. Let's see how the sound was sounding before any of the processing. And after processing, and yeah, don't forget to tweak the parameters, and you can just experiment with it and get really accurate results. So today that was it, guys. I hope you can apply these tips to your productions. Thanks for watching, guys. See you on the next video. Bye bye.